Well, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show. I am, of course, Tom O'Mahony.
And I am Jerry McBride. Tom, I had to fucking think about that for a while.
I know there's a moment where you're kind of going, am I? I'm looking directly at you going, am I Jerry McBride maybe?
Yeah.
Possibly.
You know what? It was less of me saying my name and just sort of like, I have a line here. Hang on. I have a line. What a line. Your name, asshole. Yeah, Jerry McBride. How are you all keeping on? You're very all welcome to the Tom and Jerry Show.
Hey, should we do it right for once in our series 4? Should we do it right? Because you pulled me up on this. 20 minutes into every fucking episode so far, you've gone, Tom.
You know what? We'll do it right. We'll do it right. Just to see what it's like.
I don't feel fully comfortable, to be honest with you, to being all radio and going, hey guys, let's get the housekeeping out of the way first, guys.
Yeah, housekeeping.
Oh my.
Go on. Go on. Do it right, Tom.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't put me under this kind of pressure. We are two stand-up comedians who have been doing this a long fucking time. We took a hiatus. But if you look down at the title, you will notice that we are a bunch of episodes in and you've just jumped in at this. You're like, where the fuck have these guys been all my life? They've been gone for 4 fucking years. Not gone. We've still actually hung out and talked just as much as we always did. It was just never came about where we're like, let's definitely do it. We finally did it. We got season 4 fucking in. Done. Yeah. Fired up.
Damn, fucking half over, don't you know?
Half over, don't you know?
Yeah, we're on episode 4 of season 4, don't you know?
So if this is your jumping in point, go back. Yeah. There's loads of high quality content, mostly from one of our cars driving to or from a gig, or pulling up in a darkened car park, or looking at some trains, like a couple of doggers or strange folks. Ne'er-do-wells, as you describe as yourself, Jerry.
And I will say, Tom, given that we've crested the halfway mark of this season, it should be apparent to all listeners as to whether or not it was worth their while coming back. You know? First couple of episodes, you could have been like, they'll find their feet, they'll get back to where they were. The third one will be like, okay, now they'll bring it home for the final 3. After this one, it's like, nah, they fucked it. Yeah. They should have stayed gone.
Gone. Sometimes even the Eagles, when they came back rowing, they were grand, but they were never the same.
The quality will be apparent from here on out. But I've had a good time with this season, and I do believe that I will continue to have a good time, Tom.
Well, look, if nothing,
and isn't that what matters?
Let's be honest. With the amount of podcasts that have started up out there, which I pointed out earlier in the season, we started this shit before it was cool, and then we were so cool that we decided to stop when everybody else started podcasts, but now we've started it again, of course.
And all these other fuckers came along and ate our lunch, and now we're back begging for scraps. The Tom and Jerry Show, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you stumbled onto this, like, you know, you wandered into a weird field and there's a fairy ring and now you can't get back out of it, well, look at, plug in, drink the Kool-Aid and hit subscribe. That's all you have to do. Hit subscribe. This will arrive in your ear holes every week. For the next 2 weeks after this one anyway. But
whether you fucking hit subscribe or not, we're going to make sure you listen to this damn thing. You're going to wake up in the morning, so you're going to be on your phone like a YouTube album.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. We start injecting it into people's fucking phones. We'll just get some CIA shit behind us. I'm sure there are techniques and whatnot to fucking...
I mean, like, our podcast, Tom, is not like CIA, how it'll get you. Our podcast is more like you dug up a fucking lone bush. And you dug up a lone bush in the middle of the field, and now every morning you wake up, there's thorns in your bed.
Well, I know the fairy ring thing made you think there.
Yeah.
But literally only today I was talking about this with my mother, and we talked about, you know, the lone bush thing, and digging up a white thorn bush should always be able to see another one, and you will never find a digger man in this country that will dig one up on a site. The site will have to be based around it because of the fairy folk and all the rest of it. This isn't a mystical podcast, so go look at that up. Actually, I am going to send you, I do need to send you on the link of this unbelievable guy. He did kind of a tour of Ireland, and he talked to interesting people. And he talked to this guy in Galway who is 100% convinced that there's fairies, but talks with such conviction in the same way a guy would talk about sporting facts. And he walks him around his field and all the rest of it. I need to send that on to you. Anyway, that's on a side note.
He sounds interesting, Tom. I was going to say let's have him on the podcast, but no, let's not fucking bother.
Oh, no.
This is Tom and Jerry Show.
Oh, no.
I'm going to die happy if we never have a guest on this.
Oh, this is not the Tom, Jerry, and some other person podcast.
And some other fucking poochy motherfucker just landed in. Not required.
Well, I talked about it today, and a guy I know that was having his house built asked me, because I was next door to it at the time, and not a couple of months back, and he asked me, he says, why the fuck won't any fella dig that out of it? Because he knew I'd worked in sites for years. I says, because that is fucking stay the fuck away written all over it. You're going to have to base your whole lawn around that thing. He went, I'll fucking pull it out myself if I hire a digger. I went, okay. I wouldn't. He goes, come on, you're hardly believing that bullshit, do you? White thorn and black thorn trees, that they got to see another one. I went, I don't believe all that kind of stuff, but I know fucking hoogie boogies and fucking whatever they call it, the karma, something ain't good around that.
You would never have peace.
Maybe it's you giving off stuff to the universe because of what we've been told about him, but I just wouldn't if I were you. Plus, it's not a bad looking tree. Shape the thing up, put a rockery around it. And he went, fuck that. And only 2 weeks ago, he dug it up and I found out he hit the main fucking telephone cable that was servicing. I swear to God, he hired a digger on self-hire and decided to pull the thing out of himself. And within half an hour, went up the field and decided to just out of a 12-acre field, decided to start randomly digging this one bit, put the bucket straight through the telecom wires and basically shut off the internet for everybody on the fucking road. It's cost him a fucking red fortune because, of course, when they went to repair it, they went, hold on, this is old-ass cable. We can't fucking fix old-ass cable. We got to lay the whole fucking thing. He had to pay for a fucking kilometre of new cable to be laid. And I don't know.
Are the two incidents linked? Who can tell, Tom?
Who can tell?
I mean,
this is, and
it could be anything. Like, I'd fucking love it if there was someone. I'd love it if there was someone in the country who dug up a lone bush and then, later in the day got Me Too'd. You know what I mean?
What, by the Horticultural Society?
He fucking dug up a lone bush, and when he got back to the house, the guards were taking his laptop. And listen, folks. If we just want to, we're going to calm it way the fuck down here a little bit. But
I don't know where I went with that, to be honest. I just felt a need.
If you're listening to this and all of a sudden, this is your first time listening to the Tom and Jerry show, and all of a sudden we started rambling on about lone bushes and things like this, and you're thinking, oh, hang on a second, they just went off on a tangent about some culty bullshit that they clearly know a lot about, but it's not common knowledge anywhere else in the country. Well, I would say, Tom, get used to that, because that happens all the fucking time here.
You're damn right. And this is the moment where I'm going to say we Google fuck all here. We speak fucking off the top, from the hip, out the arse, whatever way you want to talk about it. There's absolutely no premeditated fucking chat here, barring our subjects and our magazine show style fucking. But even still, it's loosey-goosey enough. If you do want to contribute, you know what to do. Twitter is where to find us. And we will be
throw you the links later on.
We'll be doing better on our posting and whatnot, because what we're going to do is we're going to post some media relative to what we've been talking about as per each episode. So feel free to jump on, fucking join the conversation, as they say. So if you do want to talk about, even though this was absolutely not pre-planned, if you do want to talk about fairy forts, the little people, I'd actually love one of the days to get into a chat about all that would interest me, is to get into the chat about all.
You know, we'll throw it in the ideas hole, Tom.
Exactly. So the whole of ideas, it is over there. Right. Let's actually
what the hell? Holy shit.
Let's kick the show off, Jerry McBride. We're wandering down literal fucking fairy fort rabbit holes here.
Actual rabbit holes, Tom.
Let's kick it off.
We're going to kick it off. But you know what? As much as we could talk about fairy forts and planning permission, Tom, gladly.
I can actually talk about this now that I can talk about this for fucking hours.
It's getting hijacked by ourselves, Tom.
And here's us going, maybe we should be aiming for in around the hour mark, Jerry. Maybe yes, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. And then we start this waffling.
That's it. Yeah, it's noble to aim for it, Tom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or deluded is a fine way. Yeah. This is a part of the show that has stuck with us throughout all the seasons, and it will live there forever, because the reality is that the
well has not run dry.
And it will never run dry, because the older you get, the more that well fills up, I feel. Although, in fairness, being Irish, we have an ability to fucking complain in the best of times. We have the ability to complain.
Twas a deep well to begin with, Tom. It's the well of giving out, because that's the one thing we love to do. Air it, get it out there, get it gone. We're not looking to solve any problems. We're not looking to present any solutions. We're looking to just fucking give out about something that vexes us, Tom. In a segment that we call Giving Out Yards.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
We'll get our timing right. We'll get our timing right one of these days. I'll see can I sync it up in the edit afterwards. No, I don't.
I don't think anybody expects us to sync it up.
Oh no, God no. It wouldn't be right. You are going to give out yards. I'm going to give out yards, please, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give out yards a little bit, Tom. And again, I give out yards about the oddest things, and it's never something that's just outright bad. I'm not going to give out about war, because who fucking likes war, Tom?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you know.
I'm gonna give out about something that's, you know.
Yes. By the way, if you're very new, you're going to find a lot of Jerry crowbarring in war movies from the 80s. He will find.
Oh yeah.
And if you haven't this season said something like, "Oh, the horror,"
yeah.
or you smell that, Tom? That
war never changes.
That gasoline smell. You know these references.
It'll get in there some. I tend to give out about things that are good in nature that have become corrupted and fucked over, mostly for profit and greed, and they've left what they were intended to be, and that's why this week I'm going to be giving out about Polly Pocket.
When will the horror end? Jerry, I tell you, your finger is on the pulse when it comes to what the nation is going to complain about. Polly Pocket, please.
There's only so much we can take as a nation, Tom.
We both have children. I'm up to my neck in Postman Pat right now. He is
he's everywhere.
He's the man, right? Like Postman Pat. Whew, he is fucking.
I mean, and you do what you can for your kids, okay? So if there's something that they want, if it's within your ability to do it for them, you do it, okay?
A bad bastard, I wouldn't. To be a bad bastard, I wouldn't.
And you do your level best for it. And anything that my kids ask for, like, you know, there's certain things that might wait until Christmas for Santa to bring them, or birthdays or anything like that. But by and large, like, you know, you try not to deprive them. But every now and then, Tom, you have to say to yourself, I'm not getting you that, because that's shite.
Oh, yeah. Because there's some... Yeah, well, we don't have the rouse yet because he's too young to physically be asking for stuff, because he don't know what's out there. So tell Polly Pocket.
So that's what it is. Now, long-term listeners will know that when it came to my son, he loved Thomas the Tank Engine.
Trains. He fucking loved trains, didn't he?
And as the ball rolled on, I grew to love them, because it was something that, you know, I fell into the collecting of them and helped him grow his collection, and he took them out of the boxes and played with them, and that was not what I intended him to do with them, but okay.
Yeah.
And the when it comes to the wee girl, she's set her sights on. Hey, look, we're not these people that say, no, you're a girl, you play with dolls, you're a boy, you play with trains. But you know what, Tom?
It just happens sometimes.
That's what she pointed at in the shop. That's what she wants. That's what she fell in with. So fair enough. I'm not going to turn around and go like, no, I'm going to get you a toy console, and you're going to.
Which, by the way,
you're going to learn a manual skill.
Has been purchased for our little fella.
Of course.
He has a little pretend fucking nail gun, and it is beyond adorable to watch him putting shit together, and it makes them. It's adorable.
If my wee girl wanted a pretend nail gun, if she pointed that out in a toy shop, that'd be the first thing that she was bought. Don't worry about that, okay? Yep. So, you know, we can give out about dolls and one thing and another to the cows come home, and whether or not Barbie is a good role model for little girls or all that. But I'll tell you one thing that fucking vexes me, Tom. Polly Pocket, specifically, if you're not familiar with it.
I'm not. I know. I've definitely, like Sylvania and Family and the Cabbage Patch Dolls, I don't know enough to fucking have an opinion, but I'm sure they're definitely out there. It's not something I imagined.
No, it's not. A Polly Pocket is a doll.
Right.
So as the name suggests, she's fucking tiny. She is 1 inch tall, okay? She's an inch tall doll. With
Right.
arms, legs, a head, and a ponytail. She is a 1 inch tall doll.
Might I suggest she can fit in your pocket?
That is the whole fucking... What's the word I'm looking for here? The USP, Tom, the unique selling point.
Listen to you.
Look at that. All right, I had to fucking
I don't know
pick
what
that
our
one.
fucking
That was
USP
back in the brain there somewhere.
What our USP
Our
is.
USP is ranting about fairy forts on any given Wednesday.
That's the lesser known Al Pacino American football movie.
So Polly Pocket's USP is that she's a tiny little doll.
Yeah.
And that her whole world will fit in your hand. So what you buy when you buy a Polly Pocket, you don't buy them like a little inch high doll and that's it. You buy a Polly Pocket set, which looks for all intents and purposes like a thing of makeup. Yeah, you know, like a lady might have like a thing of makeup that opens like a seashell.
Yes.
A which?
No, I'm saying words now. I'm just
compact.
saying
A compact.
A compact. That's it.
Right.
Jesus.
So it's a little sort of half moon thing that opens like a compact, and inside that is Polly Pocket's world, and it will be Polly Pocket's bedroom with like her little wardrobe and her clothes,
Okay,
and a little play area for her, and a load of other little things that an inch high doll might have.
I'm not seeing many negativities here. It doesn't take up much space.
It doesn't take up much space, and that's like, you know, it's the whole world in your hands, and you can have the adventures of Polly Pocket.
Got the whole world in your hands. I'm loving. I want a Polly Pocket right now, Jerry. You haven't.
You want a Polly Pocket as much as my daughter wanted Polly Pockets, as much as I wanted to buy a Polly Pocket for her, which I did, Tom.
Okay.
But what you don't want is at 8:30 at night, when it's bedtime, and you go to your wee girl and say, "Time to tidy up your toys," and she goes, "Where's Polly Pocket's horse?"
Excuse me?
Because the little set might come with a horse, or
Okay.
another set might come with a car, or another set might come with a shopping trolley, or another set might come with any fucking number of things.
Oh, fuck me, right. I thought there was just one world. She's got like
she's
supermarket
got
world.
friends. She's got supermarket world. She's got like fucking
Cheeky
equestrian
fucker, right
world.
up.
She's got like a swimming pool. Like there's one that we have. It's like a little pink. Looks like a seashell. You open it, and there's like a little swimming pool, and you have Polly Pocket, and she's got like a little, like a little life ring.
Life preserver, yes.
A little life preserver, which is like a little pink ring. Looks like a polo mint, about the size of a polo mint, and
So
Polly
it could
Pocket
be-
sits into it.
It could end up fucking anywhere.
Anywhere, Tom. And you'd want to see the crying matches in this house
Oh, Jesus.
at 9:45 at night.
Oh, Lord.
When all you want to do is sit down and watch a bit of Netflix after a testing day, Tom. And your wee girl is bawling her eyes out because she lost Polly Pocket's shoes
Oh, my fucking God.
somewhere. Where? Don't know. And these things are so small, Tom, they can hide in the pile of the carpet.
He could fucking hide in a pocket, Jerry.
It could, as the name suggests, it could be anywhere. It could be literally anywhere. Now, if your kid has, say what you want about a Barbie doll, and her image standard that is implausible for any woman,
She's pretty conspicuous, in all fairness. Like
you're not going to fucking lose her in a mug.
No.
There's no chance, Tom, that your daughter has swallowed a whole Barbie.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm here now wondering, where the fuck is this? So the amount of fucking roaring matches we've had at nights looking for Polly Pocket stuff, I'll tell you what broke me, Tom.
Go on.
Santa brought Polly Pocket's Carnival.
Oh, fucking sound one. Nice one.
All right, good man, Santa. And it's bigger than normal. It was about the size of it was about the size of a lunchbox. So it's bigger. It was bigger than the compact, so it was bigger than usual.
Big pocket.
A big pocket, so like a wallet. As you opened it opened up twice or three times, like a caliper toolbox.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And inside was a carnival where it was like Polly Pocket goes to the fun fair, and there was a wheel that went round, and there was like little merry-go-rounds, and everything is just fucking tiny, like you blow your eyes out looking at it, right? And here's the other thing as well with Polly Pocket that I hate: she won't sit in anything. But there's indentations in everything that makes it look like she might.
Oh, I'm fucking with you.
So there was bumper cars for Polly Pocket, but you play with it by having her stand beside it and push the bumper cars around.
What?
But you're not. Your brain will be going, no, she should sit in those bumper cars.
There's something fucking deeply fucking sick and psychological about the people like that designed that toy. To think that there's something that's
there's something just not right.
There's something there that like fucking Barbie sits in, and Cindy, and I'm sure there's the other one.
Sits in
they
cars.
Sit in their fucking Range Rover. They sit in. Why isn't she like even Lego lads have little holes at the backs of their legs where you can jam them down into the car.
You can jam in them. No, Polly Pocket.
Why doesn't she fucking sit? Does her legs bend? Do they bend? Or
she's
they like
she's rubber.
Like the troll dolls. She's rigid. No,
she's not posable. She's rubber. Like you can bend her in your hands.
Oh, right.
Like you can fold her in half. Like she's a little squishy piece of rubber. So if you bend her into a sitting position, she just sort of pops back up and won't sit in it.
And tell me this and tell me no more. Is Polly Pocket fucking hard on the pocket?
They're not cheap. I'm gonna get to that, Tom. Don't you worry. Let me give out 1 yard at a time here, Tom. Right. As part of Polly Pocket's carnival, right? And everything, like, you know, it was Polly Pocket, the little fucking popcorn stands and shit like this that, you know, they were at least an inch tall, so you could probably see them. But as part of Polly Pocket's carnival fun fair world, there was a little pitch and putt course.
Oh, fuck right off.
Like a little crazy golf course with a tiny little windmill that spun. And Polly Pocket had a golf club that you could theoretically clip onto her hand. Now, the golf club was, at best, a quarter of a matchstick, Tom.
Oh, my good Jesus Christ.
And the golf ball.
Jerry, in real golf, people lose their golf balls. In real golf. Do not tell me they actually made a golf ball. This thing must be...
They made a golf ball that was the size of a single bead of polystyrene.
Here. What are they doing
Polly
to
Pocket
people?
would theoretically bat around this miniature golf course and have fun.
Oh.
Since Stephen's night, Tom. Now, I had a few in me now.
Boxing Day for any of our UK listeners.
I was asked by my wee girl, crying the day after Christmas, where was Polly Pocket's golf ball?
For the love of Jesus. Here.
Like, Tom, a single bead of polystyrene. We don't live in a big house, but there was no possible way that thing would ever fucking be found. So
not a month of fucking Sundays.
Not a month of Sundays. I was quick thinking because I had drink in me. I was drink smart at the time. Do you ever have a few drinks and you get so clever and you're really proud of yourself?
It'd be a great place to continually. I've always said it. 3 to 4 pints in. Beautiful place to be.
Don't go nutless.
Nope.
I went off and I got a bit of. I went into the Play-Doh selection and I got a bit of white Play-Doh and I just balled it up in my hand, tiny. And I goes, look, there's the golf ball. I found it. Now, you're not allowed to play with it. You just go straight to bed in the knowledge that it's here. And then the next day we were just like, okay, Polly Pocket doesn't play golf anymore. Okay. And this is all very well and good. It's you know what, Tom? It's delightful that there are, you don't have to buy a Barbie doll and a Barbie house, which takes up half the fucking houses. Because not everybody lives in a big house that you could have a 4-foot tall doll house and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great thing to do, okay? Great thing to do that kids have, like, the whole world in a small area. And I'd be all for it, even though it will fucking blow your eyes out looking for these things. If the price scaled as well, though.
Oh.
But the price of a Polly Pocket is about the price of a Barbie, all right?
Fuck off.
And I don't have a whole knowledge of how the market works, but I have got functioning fucking eyes, Tom.
There's a lot more to Barbie than there is to Polly Pocket.
There's as much plastic in one of these as there is in the other. And there's as much making and transportation, and Barbie is still a foot taller than this thing you're over here, and you're selling them to me at the same price. Nah, that dog won't hunt now. I do not fucking like that, Tom. And this isn't just Polly Pocket. I'm gonna blow it up for Polly Pocket. And it does seem to be just a thing for little girls, because little boys don't seem to have this. Everything for little girls these days is this sort of faux collectible kind of thing.
Where
like you buy your Barbie and then you buy 1,000 dresses and you buy fucking shoes and you buy handbags and you buy Malibu Stacy gift houses or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Jesus Christ, I'm stressing.
And they've shrunk it all down. And the worst offender, okay, like I say, we bent to the will of the Polly Pocket, but as I said at the start of this segment, there was a couple of times where we've just had to say, we're not buying you that shite. I'm sorry. We don't say it to the kid, we don't say it out loud, but we'll just say anytime it comes up.
That'd be a rough. I was just going, Jesus, McBride, I always thought you were nice. That'd be a rough bit of dialogue inside the Smiths. We are not buying you that shit. We brought you in here right enough, but we're not fucking buying that shit.
Audience facing, I'm nice. Behind it all, I'm a horrible human being. there was one thing even worse than Polly Pocket, and it's called LOL dolls, right?
Oh, never heard of that.
So LOL dolls
is one lazy bastard of a name.
It's just as fucking bad as Polly Pocket, but with one fucking crucial difference. Okay, so it's got all the range of dolls, and they're all different hairstyles, and they're all different things, and you can buy hairbrushes, and you can buy little things, and they're all small. They're not as small as Polly Pocket. They're about, Satsuma
All this stuff
size.
sounds like a fucking choking hazard, if you know what I'm saying.
All a choking hazard. All was the
Did
case.
you sign a disclaimer before buying this shit?
Everything is a choking hazard and a go up the hose of the Hoover hazard.
Yeah, of course.
Where's the LOL doll's left boot? Don't know. Gone. Never to be seen again. And then, of course, a crying match because now this thing, so it's a whole fucking to-do, okay? But the one crucial difference with an LOL doll, you don't know what you're going to get before you get it. They're sold what's known these days, Tom, as blind.
Oh, fuck off.
You buy a bag or a capsule, and you open it, and it's like, that's part of the thing. The part of the thing is the surprise. You never know which one you're going to get.
But if you got the same one twice, like fucking the cards for soccer, whatever you were in, or wrestling,
then that's just tough shit.
Jesus Christ, the amount of times I ended up with 6 fucking Brutus the Barber beefcakes, and I'm going, I have that cunt, and I had him last week, and I had him the week before that.
Do you know what you do then, Tom? You buy another one.
Oh, Jesus.
They want you to do. They want you to buy
heroin.
another
This is
one.
fucking heroin.
It's heroin for kids, Tom. It's and number one, that's all right if you can explain it. I can explain it to my wee man. He's a little bit older, but my little girl is younger. So if she really, really wanted a sunset surprise or whatever this particular LOL doll was, like, she thinks she's going to the shop to get that. I want that one. I want to go to the shop and get that. And I'm telling you, kid, it's potluck because there's 50 of these fucking dolls to collect. And it's
geeky cunts.
Take a look. And I remember that when I was a little bit smaller, that Kinder Surprise, I would want.
Yeah,
I want a car.
Yeah,
I want a plane, or I want something, and you'd open it, and it was like fucking
a snowman. You got to clip together that fucking.
Yeah, and you're like, oh well, like I feel shit right now. I don't want that, and that's what it is. It's making kids feel shit so that they will buy something.
Oh, that's
and try and feel better next time. And that's gambling, Tom. I don't care what you want to fucking say. That's gambling for kids.
Yeah.
That's legalized
You're always
gambling.
chasing the horse. You're
always chasing it.
Yeah.
And
wow.
And everything. Tom, I haven't even started on Candy Floss Surprise or Poopsie Slime or any number of these blind items where everything for little girls these days is a fucking lucky bag.
Wow.
I never know what you're going
to
get. And it all costs a fucking fortune, Tom.
I am making notes here, Jerry, because I am just going to teach my lad that the only toys he ever wants are things that would be useful around the house. Like, you want a sweeping brush? Well, you are in luck, my good man.
You wanted a wheelbarrow, kid? Well, have I got one for you? I'll tell you, Tom, like, we might joke, but you would, if you wanted to buy your kid the fucking LOL doll Miami Beach house party.
So are people trading this shit now? Is this as trading?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't get that in depth in it. Like, the only place my kid would go is Creche.
Hold on,
Creche have a fucking
strict. You were trading. You were trading fucking Thomas the Tank Engines back in the day.
Oh, you mean to say would the grown-ups do it? Yeah. I meant to say, like, the kids. Do the kids trade? I don't know. My kid goes to Creche. That's the only place she goes. They've got a strict no toys policy, so it's not like she's fucking dealing.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, right. She's not bringing the shit with her. Right.
Could I theoretically go online and buy €100 worth of LOL dolls? Probably. I'm not getting into that, Tom, because they're fucking tat. It is cheap plastic modeled into a colourful fashion to sell to little girls with wonderful sparkly ads and all this kind of thing. And I don't see any merit in it.
Yeah,
I know. You could say, turn around and go, well, you bought your son €100 worth of trains. I was like, I could see merit in that. He learned colours
until he took them out of the box and fucked up their resale value.
He learned numbers and colours from Thomas the Tank Engine. This thing over here is just gambling. I'm not for it. We will continue to buy our Polly Pockets, but it fucking galls me to be paying €15 for an inch of plastic, Tom.
There you have it, everybody.
And until they come up with Polly Pockets open mic night comedy set.
I'm just going to say, like, where's Polly Pocket in our fucking nail gun? Like, come on. Like.
I'm not going to be a fan. And there you go. Fuck it. Fuck all belonging to it, Tom.
Well, I don't know if we guarantee at the top of the show that you typically you won't come away much smarter from listening to us. You might learn something. Most likely not. You won't hear anything being solved at any point. other than the fact that we like to complain. If you know anything about children's toys, if you have a whinge about Polly Pockets or any similar toys, Bratz, I know those ones. What happened to the fucking cool shit that was modeled? Like, is it modeled on a cartoon? I remember one on it was one of our Cultures Day Out. I think we went to see the Turtles. I think I was telling it was a segment from one of our previous shows, Cultures Day Out, and we went on an Altar Boys tour to fucking cinema to Dublin. And I remember getting myself an Earthworm Jim. I remember but you look back at Earthworm Jim too now, and it's the most trippy shit. Funny, adult humor, trippy shit. It was well worth getting. He was like Stretch Armstrong. You could pull and drag him all over the place. I don't know.
And if you held on to that guy, Tom, he'd probably be worth money these days.
Oh, he definitely.
Like I said, the thing with the toys that are marketed to little girls these days is, they don't have to like them. You just have to want them.
Oh yeah, but that's consumerism.
That's all it is.
And they just go after little girls. Yeah.
You know, because my wee girl, when she gets them, she's just like, okay, well, I guess this is shit because I can't really play with it. It doesn't do anything. It's it's not fun. But at the same time, I want another one.
So it's basically like selling fags to kids. They're shite.
Exactly what it is.
But they really want another fag.
They really want them.
Jesus Christ. Well, are you happy to stick a pin in giving out yards?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Tom.
Very well done. Lovely stuff.
And like you said, Tom, people aren't going to learn anything from that segment except for a few novel ways to give a thing a fucking off.
There you go. If you want to know how to fucking complain about something. You want
to expand your giving out repertoire, where are you people?
Oh yeah, top of the fucking pops on that one. If that was an actual, I mean, we'll we're under the comedy banner when it comes to Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts and all the rest of it. But if there was a complaining fucking segment, I think we'd be top of the pops. Honestly, I don't think
we're just so good at complaining, Tom. And you know what else we're good at? We're good at stand-up comedy.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, again, if you've only just joined the whole fucking ranks of the whole thing and you've gone, who the fuck is Tom McBride and Jerry O'Mahony? Who the fuck are these two? Well, you got it wrong for the starters. It's Tom O'Mahony and Jerry McBride. We are stand-up comedians, and that's how we came together back in the day. That's how we became friends, and that is we have continued to do. And we've had beautiful fucking gigs. Amazing gigs. And in the latter years of our careers, the gigs have been that bit better. Haven't they, Jerry?
That's it. I mean, stand-up comedy starts bad and gets better. You know, well, actually, there's eating and drinking on that statement, but that's.
But look, as I pointed out before, and I'll take this one. This is a segment that we like to call worst gig ever.
What do you need us for?
Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
You son of a bitch.
And this is everybody's favorite one. And like I've pointed out loads of times, and I've said it in loads of podcasts, and comedians have said it to me when they've talked about it on my podcast. The only time, typically, when you get good at comedy, the only time comedy should never go off the rails when you're in a comedy club, in an environment that it is fucking catered for, built for. It's only when it goes off skew and you end up doing comedy in a place you shouldn't. And like I've done it almost, that seems to be a recurring theme. When you end up doing fucking comedy where comedy was never meant to be on in the first place, that's normally. Now, we've had plenty that have gone fucking sideways. In other words, I mean, I think I talked about one of the last.
No one particular one springs to mind.
No, well, I tell you, but every so often somebody will offer you a few pounds to do a gig, or they'll ask you out of the blue. And I remember being asked to do this gig, Jerry, maybe 3 years ago now. It was probably about 3 years ago. And I remember I'd been asked by this chap, would I be interested at some stage? And I went, yeah, if you want me to. He was involved with a club that I was with years ago. And I went, well, yeah, absolutely. If you need me.
A sports club.
Exactly. A sports club. He reached out and he went, would you? And I went, yeah, nothing came of it.
not pigeon fanciers or something.
No, it was a rugby club. And I said, yeah, I'd love to see the lads again. I'd love to do a show. Because you know what? I would know it inside out. I would probably go completely off-piste and have a bit of crack taking the piss out of the boys because I'd have the inside track. And then it turns out they didn't have the money. They were going to try a simpler way of run. That's fine, no problem. Then out of the blue, about 6 months later, he says to me, I don't know if you knew this. He says, but I'm a guard. Oh, but I didn't actually know you'd become a guard. I didn't know that. When whatever division he was with, he wasn't. I don't think he was out in the field. He was like, let's say he was on the computer side of things. So I don't know what his thing was. He says, I'd love you to come and do a gig at the college.
At the Garda College, Tom.
Garda College. And I went, fuck. He says, we've had
me.
He says, but look, we have. It pinged my interest. I went, well, I mean, it's writing itself right now, Jerry McBride. It's fucking writing itself.
Yeah, but fuck me, so do ransom notes.
It's guards, Jerry. It writes itself. It'll be gas.
Jesus,
it'll be gas.
Okay, so you're hired to do a comedy slot.
Listen,
like it was a standalone gig here.
This is what I was told that
it
was going to be.
Walk me through it.
No, I was told the notion that it was going to be a standalone gig.
Okay.
And maybe in the vagueness, I should have probably pushed for one thing or another. I should have pushed for more clarity on what the whole thing was, but I think it was going to be a standalone, and then it ended up they wanted to push it to another night, and a night in particular. On the way down, the chap who's very nice said, "I won't be there myself, but this is this guy's number." When you get in there, and straight away, fucking red flag, as you know, Jerry, red fucking flag. I won't be there myself. But
I won't be there myself. Oh, fuck me, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, that vexes me now. Like, that's why won't you be there yourself?
Yeah.
That's vexing. Like that he would have wanted to be raiding a house for drugs in the street value of €5 million.
Yeah.
For him not to be there.
Oh, don't worry. It gets way more tense than that. So in my head, I'm still thinking, it's just me to add a bit of R&R, life relief. I know Templemore. I've been there once before because I had a Jeep break down on me there before where I broke the wishbone on a Jeep that Toyota said couldn't actually be broken, but I fucking broke the thing. And I had to leave it in Templemore. So I show up to the college. Turns out I was thinking it was going to be a standalone gig in one of their theatres. One of their, because it's a college.
Lecture halls.
Lecture halls. It's going to be a bit fucking dry because it's not a comedy gig. I'm going to walk out and all we can do. And I had a bunch of fun, light fucking Garda material that would get us all on board. They were noobs. They were noobs.
Right, okay, so what we're looking at here is not guards. We're looking at, like, lads that have just done the leaving cert.
Exactly. And they knew these are lads that were going to be, look, we know we're going to be guards. We haven't been turned yet. This is going to be good crack. And even the older, that's what I have. But
I can see an in there, yeah.
But then suspicions start to fucking get a bit fucking wry when I pull into the college and there's two guards like sentries standing at the gate. And your man says, yeah, no problem. Straight in there, over there.
Come here. What do you say to him when you pulled up at the gate of the fucking Garda training college? The guard asked you, I'm assuming, a somewhat armed guard asked you what you were doing approaching the college. What did you tell him?
I told him outright, I was going on here to do a comedy gig. And he kind of looked and went, all right.
Because I fucking know what look a guard gives me when I tell him I'm going to do a comedy gig in the middle of town.
Well, here's the thing.
When I'm on my own turf and he's at a checkpoint and he pulls me over and go, where are you going tonight, sir? I'm going into town to do a comedy gig. Yeah, I know the fucking look he gives me for that, let alone when I'm at his fucking
But you have to remember, Jerry, I swear to God, this particular week, I had done some incredible shows. It was just a week of like 5 shows.
Constant gold.
Every one of them was absolutely swinging for the fence. I mean, everyone. I was just nothing but net all week. And we're talking for a month at that stage. I was on a fucking. I had hit.
You were on a
pay dirt. I was on a fucking seam of gold. That nothing was going wrong for me. Every gig, fucking rip roaring. Like,
oh God.
I drove down to this.
They do tend to bring you down after a while. Go on. So we're at the college here.
So we're at the college in again, and a guy, I park up, and I'm kind of going, okay, this is fucking weird. There's a lot of people milling about here. I'm like, but civilian looking people. And next thing, I pull up the car, and I'm going, fuck, this could immediately. I'm pinged. This could be fucking wrong. And then the guy that's guided me to where to park, I step out. He went, fucking Damon Ivor. Hey. Went,
okay.
Hey, all right. Okay, we're back in the game now. Big Shot Tom is fucking back in the room. So I said, I'm looking for such and such. He went, oh yeah, I think he might be down in like this huge, phenomenal fucking courtyard. It's all the way around, like a fucking barracks, like you'd imagine,
Right, so this is like I can imagine like where they march people.
Yeah. So I ring the guy, right? The guy answers.
Giving me a stress headache.
Yeah, the guy answers the phone though. Rather than go, oh hey, he answers the phone, and goes, yeah. I went, yeah. So, and I explain who I am, what I'm there to do, and I don't know, fucking. I went, oh Jesus, look, head fucking down to it, and I head.
He hasn't a clue what's going on, Tom.
Not a fucking clue. And this guy is big dick in a small pond, if you know what I mean. And this guy just turned up and went, hey, I'm the professionally funny one. So that's what he was hearing. I didn't realize, right? They were having some sort of fucking open night. So it just was so bizarre. I thought I was walking straight to do this show, get on, do fucking 45 minutes for these chaps, get the fuck out in my car.
And fuck off home.
No way. This shit is not going ahead for hours. I walked down. They've got them
fucking bad about this time.
I go, do I just go back to the car? Do I sit in? Do I drive the fuck away, Tom? Do you drive the fuck away? Because this guy just made you really, really fucking uncomfortable because he just did not. You knew by the fucking way he answered it. It wasn't a guy that was stressed. It was a guy that, what the fuck do you want?
He wasn't a guy that was like, he wasn't there going like, the comedian, okay, right, okay, yeah, because fuck, I got the Saw Doctors on the other line.
Yeah.
Animals that hasn't showed up yet, and fucking Keith Barry is supposed to be here at 9 o'clock. Like, this is not a fucking entertainment officer.
No. So I walked down in the direction into one of the corners where the museum is, right? And it's near where this function hall is. So I walk down, and the next thing I get met by this person. I said, explain my fucking scenario, and they're like, "Oh, right, yeah. Well, do you want to just walk in with me here? We'll see, can we find him?" And we walk in around the museum. Turns out, I know one of the guards who's on show, and he's a well-known guard. He's been on my podcast. He's a high-profile GA player, and he kind of double looks at me and goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?" I went, "I'm here to do a gig," and even he went, "Sheesh." I went, "What do you mean? What do you mean, sheesh?" He says, "Everybody's on a bit of fucking tenterhooks around here at the minute, Tom. This just happened to coincide right now, the open night tonight and all the rest of it for the public. It's celebration of the centenary, but it's lined up with a very revealing documentary that came out last night on RTE about a certain guard, ex-guard."
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, Tom.
The Edward Snowden of fucking
guards.
Had been on the night before on a very revealing documentary that the whole country had watched. Bar me. I didn't watch it.
I knew it was
out
on.
do you know what I was out doing?
Working.
Fucking tearing up trees in a comedy club. Smashing it. That's what I was fucking doing, Jerry McBride.
I don't have time for this nonsense.
I don't have time for this background shit.
Tom, tell me this before you go on, okay? Because I gotta picture this in my mind here now. When you're in the Garda training college, like, what is everybody wearing? Because in my mind, it's kind of like police academy that you're either wearing some form of blues or you're wearing like a tracksuit with a Garda badge on it.
No, well, I didn't see any of that. I saw.
So these guys are all wearing jeans and shoes.
No, well, I mean, any of the people who are working there as guards, they were all in cash Garda stuff, like whether it's the polo shirt, but they had all the variants, there was people walking around with different things, and then. So now my heart is sinking. I'm going, what the fuck? Where am I actually doing this? Then I get met by this quite nice, but quite fucking very direct female guard. She says, "Hey, you got some time to kill. The show won't be on for ages. Do you want me to show you around?" I went, "Fucking okay." She says, "You might pick up a bit of material." I went, "This is fucking good." So she takes me around and she actually gives me the proper tour, like where they lecture them. And turns out they're normal classes. They're not really like lecture halls. They're flat.
Right, okay.
But then shows me...
I had in my mind, Tom, we've done college gigs together. And normally they're all right because it's like an actual proper lecture hall.
Yeah.
And you get the sense that the audience in a college gig, they're sitting where they do their classwork as well.
Yeah.
So that's that kind of like, like I'm at mass, but there's no mass on.
Yeah. And there's no chance of points. You know, that kind of way.
So we're not sure what this is like. But no, this sounds like, go on.
So I'm kind of going, we're exceeding the amount of fucking time I'm getting to see the place. It shows me the gym and everything. I said, "Listen, could I really see the venue if you don't mind me?" She went, oh, grand, okay. And I'm going, because it's, it's supposed to be, technically it's supposed to be on fucking stage like by, 9.
Yeah.
It's like fucking 8:15. I get in there. Jerry's the fucking brightest lit fucking like hall you've ever seen. Huge giant stage. A band have taken up the whole fucking stage. and there's no seating.
A band like the Garda band.
No, just a duo from the town had been fucking brought out to play some music.
Because I was seeing fuckers with like violins and shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. So at least there's that much. So I walk in, and off that main room is the bar. Now, there's no seating inside at all. There's none. Bar a couple of kind of fixed table things halfway up the middle of this 100-foot fucking long hall, right? I'm going, oh, fucking Jesus Christ, what way is this supposed to fucking go? So I said, you know what, this is at least, when did they come in? And this is, they're all doing copy fucking things at the minute, and all the youngsters will come in, and it'll be fucking great. They'll all stand here, and you do. I said, okay, can we fucking lower the lights? Can we bring in some fucking music at least to take the weirdness out of it for when they do come in? They went, all right, so I had to run around from getting that sorted to try and create an atmosphere, Jerry, because I'm going, this is going to be fucking dire. I know this is going to be beyond.
You just know.
Dire. And then it gets fucking worse because the whole place is on tenterhooks, right? Everybody's on tenterhooks, right? Everybody, because basically the entire fucking Garda Síochána had been hung out to dry on that fucking television the night before. And funny man down here, now I'm going, I can't do any of the stuff I was going to fucking do.
Jesus, this is honestly, Tom, this is like the...
And then, I'm talking, then I meet the guy who's like, yeah, I meet him. Could be ruder. I was in his patch. And this guy, I could tell by this guy had been, sort of guy had been married 3 times. He went to the Garda College and never left the Garda College.
I get you.
So he is the Van Wilder of this joint. And he's every fucking 2 years where it takes to run Garda, he's using the same lines, and the same gags and the same on gas on everybody. And like,
you're not gas, pal. You're the fucker that has been left to guard the base.
Yeah. And he put his hot shit in his head, right? And I'm going, all right, dude, whatever. And he's stomping around. He's like, so how long are you doing? I said, well, I was asked to do 45 minutes. I don't know time-wise how this is going to work because I'm just being told that when they all, now the timelines are becoming very apparent. I've been told they all have to be in bed because there used to be a curfew, but there is now because somebody there's a curfew. They all have to be in bed by 11. So when they come in, they're going to drink like fuck. You went, yeah, well, you know what I mean? I went, oh, fuck. Then all of a sudden, I get told, I said, can we just fucking get him in? I don't give a fuck. Can we start this? He goes, no, you're not going on before the fucking commissioner. As the commissioner showing up, the brand new commissioner, the guy who'd come down from the PSNI, he comes down, right? And then he goes up and all the young guards are brought in, like children in front of the fucking school principal. They've all got to stand there. The poor bastards, in fairness, I feel for them. I'm fucking, everybody's stressed out and they're all standing there, maybe 200 of them. And they're standing in the middle of the floor and he's saying how great it is to be this, that, and the other. He's giving it the whole... He's a politician, the guy is. Because that's what you are when you're at the top of the top. You got to be a politician. And then they start talking about this fucking charity for a kid with fucking disabilities that they've raised money for. And I'm standing on the side of the stage going,
Jesus Christ.
In fucking God do I walk on after this? This has gone on for hours and fucking hours. And they've had to march in front of him and he's been late. It's now, I've got it. The band has to go on at some stage. The fucking bar has to close at 10 to 11. And it's now like 10 to 10. And I'm going, what the fuck do I do here? So he bails, right? Round of applause. Out goes the boss man. A couple of the other fellas. They all hit the fucking bar. Every one of them. They all run. Every fucking one of them run out of the room. And your man says, do you want to go on?
Yeah, I mean, they're on last orders.
Do you want to go on or what? I went, yeah. I mean, I can't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, hello. Yeah. I know you're all in the fucking back drinking and all, but this fella coming on didn't introduce me as a comedian. Yeah. Nothing. Wouldn't use my name. Nothing. He just went, yeah, on you come. I went, oh my fucking God.
Fuck me.
Oh my God. And I walked out. And I went, I managed to get some of them out. I went, I know you all want to get as much fucking drink into yourself because daddy's gone. I get it. I fucking get it. Listen, I'm supposed to be out here for 45 minutes. I'm going to be out here for about 10. Let's have a bit of fucking crack. I can
assure you that shit's not going to happen.
And it was look, let's say 70% of them were fucking actually kind of, hey, we'll just grab a drink. We'll meander. They didn't, and they're terrified of the stage. They're fucking 50 feet away from him. Then there's a couple of lads who are just, they're still in junior cert because the guy who introed me, I realized, I went, oh, you've never grown up. And you're coaching lads. Like, I'm like, this isn't what I thought. Whoa, hold. And it gets even fucking weirder. Stuff is, I thankfully I'd had enough.
Like, Tom,
I had enough stage presence to know this is shit. And I pointed out and went, what are we fucking doing here?
I gotta tell you, Tom, like, you're making me want to leave the recording right now and go check if I have tax in the car.
Yeah. I told you. I fucking told you this one was going to be tense. I hung on to this one for you.
This is, Tom.
My fucking God, Jerry. It got weirder. So
I couldn't.
This uniform copper, who's obviously, like, none of these lads have grown up. Like these lads are still 15. These lads just happen to be like 17 and they're the scout leaders. And I've come into their patch as a professional fucking comedian. Now, this is only a small minority, but then the next, I'm up there and I'm just going, I'm banging out a bit of material, but then I'm at least I have the stage fucking maturity to be able to intersect with what the fuck are we doing here? Clumped between all this band stuff. The guys from the band were really nice. And even I was looking at them going, this is fucking terrible. This is one of the worst fucking gigs of my life. Now, I'll let you all know I've been paid beforehand, so that's why I followed through with this bullshit. But and I put it back on them as much as I could. I went, I don't fucking want to be here. You don't want me here. And I start getting them then a little bit, and it starts getting a bit of fucking traction. And out of nowhere, this uniform guard, who's clearly had a drink or two, or he's fucking mental, starts,
why choose?
Starts jumping in and out from the wings, right? Going, wee-hee. Remember when you play Mortal Kombat for too long?
Yeah, the wee fucker come up in the corner.
Yeah, this is what this guy's doing. And he's trying to... And the group of 15-year-old mentality lads who are cadets think it's gas. Everybody else is kind of going, oh, Jesus. And your man keeps saying, I went, who the fuck is that? And what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You're older than I am. You fucking mental. And I goes, who the fuck are you? And he comes over and he goes, and he says his name into the microphone, like shoving me out of the way, and you're a comedian, and runs off. I'm like, what the fuck have I walked into? God. What the fuck have I walked into?
I gotta be honest with you, Tom. I am fucking shocked and appalled that there are guards like that in this country.
I know. Well, I will say, the vast majority...
I would have never thought.
I know. But we all went to school with a mad fucker or a weirdo. And he went, I'm a guard now. And you're like, what? I definitely did not think that that's how, But in fairness, for the most part, I will get, like... But as you said, like, as we have explained before, you could be playing the Sydney Opera House. You could be playing to Croke Park to fucking 50,000 people. But if there's one fucker with a dour look in the middle as you're rocking,
you'll spot him.
That's the one. So I'm painting the whole picture badly, only because there was a handful of fucking lads, but the rest were very nice. But they were just timid, and they wanted.
I get you, right?
But where my grievance really is with these grown blokes who are older than me, just could not deal with me coming in and being on their turf. And I said, I goes, well, what do you want to do? You're jumping in now. He goes, we got the raffle to do. I said, you want to do a fucking raffle? Well, I sure as shit aren't doing a fucking raffle. I put the mic back in the yoke and went, thanks. Peace out. And I walked, and these couple of lads tried to get a bit football fanish with me, like, what? And I just thankfully, they paid me in cash, and I just held it up in front of them and went, yeah, good looking, thanks, guys.
You guys keep guarding that piece.
You keep guarding that piece, and got back in the fucking car. And do you know, sometimes you should be perceptive enough to things. And sometimes people can be, we were talking about pulling up fairy trees and stuff like that.
Right.
I drove out of Templemore. It was fucking freezing. And I remember when I left home that night, it wasn't that cold. I swear to God, in like 2-3 kilometers back to the motorway, it came up by 9 degrees. We're talking 2 minutes away. It came up by 9 degrees. Talk about some Silent Hill level fucking shit. God, you know what I mean? And it was
that has been the uncut gems of worst gigs ever,
isn't it? And honestly, Jerry,
I did not feel at ease at any stage throughout that.
I remember.
Do you know what I'm going to tell you, Tom? Do you know what it's been? Right, there is a bit of, if you listen back through the worst gigs ever, that is like a supercut of them. That's got the dour sensibilities of it being after the RTE documentary that I felt when I went on after the Thierry Henry handball. It's got the performance students who don't want to be there of a gig I did in Maynooth. It's got a press gang, nobody's listening to you approach to that gig that I did for the motorcycles up at it. This is the fucking Avengers of worst gig ever.
This is when you went.
This is everything.
This is when Optimus Prime clips together with all the other fucking Transformers to make a super fucking.
Make a super fucking Prime, not Transformers, but okay. You're mixing your robots up, Tom.
I can't say anymore. Apologies for fucking Polly in my pocket.
That is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
And I wrapped that nicely for the podcast. I told that from the hip. I'll never forget. That was a Thursday night. The Friday night was the most cathartic, beautiful little room gig I've ever done. Was the following night, and I'm raging the gig had to close because they just couldn't sustain it. It was down in Cork, and it was this Dave Chappelle moment that if I had a packet of fags in my pocket, I would have smoked it. And there was a lot of podcast fans there, and it was a beautiful little room in Ballincollig. And I went up on stage and I went, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous room in a place called the White Horse. If you ever get to see music up there, go fucking see it. Fucking gorgeous bar staff, lovely fucking people that run it. And I pulled up a stool and I went, can I tell you a fucking story?
Can I tell you one story?
And they all sat, I swear to God, Jerry, they all sat forward. And I told that story fucking move by move for, I would say 30 minutes. And it was like, I swear to God, it was like, I got paid for that. I would have paid to be able to fucking do that. And they all came with me on that it was the most, I was blessed. And the following night, I told that story. It had gotten into, I was fucking down after that. And I told it, I was out with Cormac Moore and Keith Fox. We went for a couple of pints and I told him that story. The lads laughed so hard. It was like, oh, now the weight is gone. And then we went inside and we watched New Zealand or Ireland beating New Zealand on the television. I was like, it's gone. I'll never have to. It's gone. And then we started season 4 and I went, oh,
gotta bring it back.
I gotta bring it back.
Tom, I gotta tell you, and I hope the listeners were all entertained by that story.
I probably went a bit long too, did I?
No, I was just horrified because I could put myself in your position.
Yeah.
I'm like, Tom, I'd rather be lowered off the side.
They're not knowing where you were going. Nobody knew what was. Oh my God!
I would rather be lowered off the side of a boat than do that fucking gig.
Well, this is the thing. I was in my head. I was like, you talked about not naming a company because you never know, they might call you again. I ain't ever getting called again.
You're never getting called by the guards unless it's all of a sudden they're going to fucking give you for something.
And if guards are listening to this, they'll know all the people I'm talking about, but they'll understand the lunatics I'm talking about too, because like I said, 70 to 80% were fucking lovely. Like the woman who showed me around, like the guy I knew, like the 70 or 80 that were in the audience. There was just this handful of fucking weirdness that didn't need to be. Like
it didn't need to be, and I'm not gonna go on about my own experience with guards at comedy gigs, but one springs to mind, Tom. Very quick story. I was in town doing a gig, and I was on my way home, and I called into this one particular open mic gig that's in town. You always kind of call in and say hello, and sometimes you might get 7 minutes stage time, and sometimes you wouldn't. But you always just kind of call in and say hello because it's on the way home. And I was just in there catching up with everybody, seeing what the crack was. And this guard came to the door, a plainclothes guard. And you wouldn't have known he was a guard, but he went to the lady where you pay, and he just flashed his badge and walked in and sat down. And I went over to the MC at the other end of the room, and I was like, put me on stage for 5 minutes. Put me on this stage for 5 minutes. I gotta get out. And I was so red mad that this son of a bitch had just like flashed his badge and walked into a gig where everybody's working on a door split. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You don't get to walk in here. And it was a $5 in, Tom. You don't do that. You don't just fucking flash it back and walk in. And I went over to the MC and I was like shaking him. I was like, I want 5 minutes. I want to go on next. I got 5 minutes. I want to rip this son of a bitch a new arsehole. And it was only a newer comedian, as they tend to be newer comedians this night. And he had a set list of people that were going on and weren't going on. He was like, oh, I can't put you on because there's a couple of lads next, but if you talk to himself outside, he might put you on next week. I was like, I need to get on now. And he wouldn't put me on. But I was about to go up and get marked by the guards for life if I'd have been led on that stage. I was so angry. Yeah. Oh, Tom.
But I will clarify it. I did meet very nice people. I was actually thankful for the gig, but it was just the way the stars were aligned. I'm guessing the tension was there as a result of the other thing. But then just really was, all in all, it was two people. Two people could have just been a bit sounder. There was no comedy shouldn't have been there at all. It shouldn't have been there. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody knew it. The band was a fucking enough. Even the band were like, we're going to play for like 10 minutes before they got to close the fucking bar.
There's a bit here that would have liked to lean into it. You know what I mean? Like, guys, I got to wrap up this gig quick. I got to go. I got to go for a big party. Morris McCabe is throwing.
I know. But
he's just got all this money out of nowhere.
And you know what? The thing was, I would never brought it up. Only this fucking well-known GA star who's a guard, but he doesn't really have to do much guarding because he's a good representative for them out there. But he went, yeah, everybody's a bit fucking tense. And then all of a sudden he got me rattled on that side of things. But just fucking bringing on this cunt. I was like, oh man, yeah. I saw as I walked off stage, he started doing I'm not going to get into it, but he started doing the raffle and somebody won a raffle prize as I was walking out. And it got a little fucking sheesh moment there. I was like, okay, I'm fucking glad to be getting away from this. Right. This is not forward thinking at all, but I got out of there and really, it was I just drove away going, hello, darkness, my old. But it was when I saw the fucking thermometer, this Silent Hill moment.
When the thermometer lifted. That's
9 degrees in fucking 3-4 kilometers. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't fucking happen.
No.
And that was this week's worst gig ever. There you go. Jesus. I'm
shocked, Tom.
I know, I can see it in you. You're after your shoulders have gone down and all the rest of it. But
it takes
you can rescue this. You can rescue this. Let's fucking put it to bed. That's done. You can rescue this because I love it. A bit of positive misery in that.
A bit of Do you know
for
what
our new segment.
And that segment, Tom, I got to tell you, entertaining as all as it was entertaining in sort of like a ghost story kind of a way.
Yeah.
To me.
Tell me, don't tell me. Go on, tell me. No, don't. I'll go on. So, I'd be interested to hear how regular folk, muggles, how they interpreted that story, how they hear it. I tried to describe it as best I could, but from a stand-up's point of view, you're left in the lurch at the best of times, and that you can handle. But when you're just being pushed pillar to post, going, well, I don't know where you're supposed to be. And then you're going, this is the moment where you wish you had a really good agent who just went,
Mr. O'Mahony is ready to take the stage now.
Or Mr. O'Mahony's walking and you're still going to pay us.
Yeah.
That's the moment you wish, But
that's one for the comment section. Folks, if you're listening to this and you've done a stand-up comedy gig to a bunch of guards in the training college, let us know. Let us know how you got on.
Well, the thing is, they've had gigs when this is where the peaks and troughs throughout that evening, because the guy was really nice that I met. I was parking the cars and I met a couple of, they went, oh yeah, we've had PJ Gellar out here. But it was a gig purely with only PJ, it was only there was no other fucking strange things. Why they felt the need to crowbar in comedy into a night that already had the boss man down. They were having an open night. They had a band booked. I mean, why they felt the need to crowbar in?
I gotta tell you, Tom, and I never like to mention other comedians' names on it, on the podcast, because I don't like to drag people down at me. But if ever there was a name that came up for like a gig that you wouldn't have thought of doing, or you felt you were going to die at it, it's PJ. I've often heard, well, you see, they had PJ down and they loved him, so you'll be able to do this. I've heard that more times.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to always pause people, I'm down playing in some fuck knows where, for Christ knows who, whether it's a corporate for some company that I've never heard of, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the fucking day. It'll always be the same, like, oh yeah, don't worry, it'll be great. We had PJ down last year and they loved him. And I'm like, I got it. It's always PJ. We're playing in some fucking badminton court in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, they had PJ down last year and he did great. And I got to stop people going like, I'm not PJ or anywhere fucking near him whatsoever. So the fact that he had a good gig is no guarantee that I will whatsoever. It's nice to know that he was here and had a good time. Why don't you stick around and watch me have a fucking terrible time?
You know what you should do? Ring him back up. Right, get us out of this if you wouldn't mind, please, Jerry. With our final segment. Our final segment, Tom.
Our brand new segment. It's a brand new. It's not brand new. I mean, it's 4 episodes.
That's brand new
deep now, isn't it?
for season 4. Yes, your
As far as
brainchild.
I are, yeah. You know, the glacial creep of our podcast forward, Tom, it could have like a fully grown sequoia tree on it and say, yeah, that's still brand new.
Damn right. Damn right. Mountains have been formed this way, and that's what it's all about, Jerry.
But the new segment, Tom, we're gonna get some medical knowledge for these.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
You know, I mean, like, it's one thing, like, you know, I mean, I would have definitely left that gig you're after talking about feeling a little bit unwell, but it wouldn't have been as much as I've ever felt unwell in my life, Tom. And we like to talk about times when we felt a little poorly,
Under the weather,
or indeed what remedies got us feeling better again. And that's in a segment, Tom, that we call What Ails Ya?
It's nothing. Barely a flesh wound. On your feet, old man.
There you
What
go.
ails you, Tom? I'll take
what fucking ails you, Jerry? What ails you?
Well, Tom, this is what I'm going to tell you. Nothing ailed me in this particular instance, okay?
Huh?
Nothing ailed me. And in fact, I wanted to keep it that way. I wanted a preventative measure that would stop me getting sick.
Oh, do tell.
Or at least something that I could see it coming, if you know what I mean, all right? And we don't get too serious on this podcast, but Big C, Tom, nobody's idea of crack, nobody's idea of fun. And anytime you were ever in your life told keep an eye out for cancer, that's good advice. You should do that. When you were a younger lad and you were under like a high threat of testicular cancer, and you were told maybe give your balls an old feel every now and then to see is there anything wrong with it. Tom, like, I don't know about you, but as a younger man, I didn't need much persuasion.
I'll be honest.
They're like, you should feel your balls. And I was like, more so than I am doing.
It was like, it's like telling a baker to bake bread if you don't mind, just to stay safe. It's like, it's pretty much what I do most of the time.
You should feel your balls in any particular fashion. Keep an eye on it. These are these things. And this came back to mind earlier this year when... the guy died. Black Panther died, Tom. Fucking Black Panther. Of course,
yeah. Jesus Christ.
Chadwick Boseman, he fucking up and died. 40-some-odd years of age, okay? And again, from cancer. He died from bowel cancer. And that rung a bell with me, Tom, because bowel cancer is the McBride cancer of choice.
Right.
That's what we got in the house, okay? That's what we have in the family, okay? So we always kind of want to keep a little eye out for these things, okay? So if you have a history of whatever cancer in your family, keep an eye out for it. Don't say like, oh, it's a fucking owl person cancer, and I'll look about it when I'm 60, and sure, if I notice anything wrong with me when I'm 70, I'll keep an eye on it. Because Chadwick Boseman, and all the fucking doctors available to the world, died when he was 40 years of age, okay?
And normally rich people don't die. You know what I mean? Really rich
people
don't die.
You know, you hate to say it, but like, you know, it's not, you can't fucking buy your way out of the grave, Tom. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah, you can sometimes. Something that poor people wouldn't be able to fucking buy their way out of, rich people could. But I mean, when it comes strong on somebody like Chadwick Boseman, it fucking got him. You know what I mean? There was no buying his way out of that one. Yeah.
And like I said, given that that's the McBride family cancer of choice, I was like, you know what? The only thing you can do in a situation like that, Tom, when it's a cancer or some such, is like you say, you can't buy your way out of it, but you can keep a fucking eye out for it, and you can get it as early as you possibly can.
So,
all right?
Guts cancer, guts.
So, as such, I've always kind of been very wary of my bowels and all this kind of thing. We're going to talk shit, Tom. Here, don't worry about that. Okay?
Are they good bowels?
I'm good. Yeah, don't you worry about it. I'm currently
something I pride myself on actually.
On last NCT, bowel cancer free. Delighted to say, never had it. Hopefully, never will. But I'm keeping an eye on it, Tom. There's one way to keep an eye on your digestive health, and it ain't an X-ray, pal.
Fiber.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm fiber. Yeah, fiber optic cable up your arse.
So you're not keeping your eye on it. You're keeping a Terminator's eye on it. Is what you're
I had several eyes on it, Tom.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went in for a colonoscopy about 18 months to 2 years ago because I was coming up on 40, and I was thinking I got to keep an eye on this because I'm not fucking looking after my digestive health. They say eat a load of fiber, eat a load of this, eat right, do all these kind of things. Don't drink dirty black pints. Don't eat fast food. Don't do all the things that I was doing left, right, and centre. And I took this fucking pain in my guts, Tom. Like, proper, like, pain in your guts for several weeks. And it was only when I rounded into the second and third week when I was like proper digestive discomfort where it felt like a big ball of wind moving through me like constantly. But you know the way you get a ball of wind moving through you and you do a couple of big dirty farts and then you'll be grand.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine it kind of lasting you for a fortnight or 3 weeks?
No, I can't imagine that.
Well, you imagine if it did and you had a history of bowel cancer in the family, you'd be saying to yourself, fuck.
Better go to the mechanic.
This ain't it, kid. This is not it. Now, long story short, it turned out that I was just like eating and drinking the bit out, and I went to the doctor and he told me to fuck off and lose 2 stone. And not so many words, but that's what he told me.
Wouldn't you love a doctor like that? A bit more air. And you fuck off and lose 2 stone.
It brings me to mind, like, in the height of all this as well, I went to another doctor, like, about 6 months before that, because I was fucking... Separate notion here, Tom, but it doesn't warrant what ails you on its own. I was convinced I was having a heart attack, all right? And, like, I was proper, like, chest pains, shooting pains down my left arm, proper having a heart attack. And, like, the more I would Google, it would say, like, another symptom of a heart attack that I hadn't known was, like, if you have, like, jaw pain or tightness in your jaw, that kind of thing. And I was like, fuck, I have that. I'm convinced I have having a heart attack, and went down to a doctor. Like, it got so bad that I walked down to the doctor, and I did it real dramatic, Tom. I was like dragging his shoulder on the wall and everything. You know? Like, I was like, Doc, like, I'm at work here, and I know you're not my doctor, but you're the nearest doctor, and thanks for seeing me. And like, Doc, I swear to God, I think I'm having a heart attack right now. And he goes, okay. And there was no urgency about the fucker, which led me to believe that he knew rightly that I was just having like some sort
I imagine like a doctor from, do you remember Doc Hollywood when he crashed and he went in and and they thought the kid was dying, but he just gave him a Pepsi because he'd been chewing the old by his tobacco. It turns out he's like, give me grand.
This is why I go on a segue to this doctor, because I went into him and he goes, what age are you? Do you drink? Do you smoke? I goes, I don't smoke, I do drink. And you could tell by the look of me, I was like well heavy at the time. And he goes, "Come here, I want to check. Are you having a heart attack?" Because he fucking knew rightly I wasn't, because he was clear to him that this was some sort of stress-related anxiety fucking thing that I'd talked myself into.
With chips and pints.
Because he said to me, like, do you feel like you're having a heart attack? I goes, well, yeah. He goes, do you often feel like this? I goes, yeah. He goes, well, you see, the thing with heart attacks is
one shot. Bang bang.
They don't hang around, you know what I mean? It's a little more like an Actimel in the morning than it is good eating throughout the day, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, when do you most often feel like you're having a heart attack? And I goes, well, like when I think about it. He goes, well, yeah. I think he goes, just so I have you. He goes, I want to show you a thing. And he goes, and he takes out his phone, and he goes, and he pulls up this app, right? And I'm like, Doc, don't show me a fucking Wikipedia a thing for me here, and I don't
Please
tell me
pretend like you've got a degree.
Come on. Symptoms of heart attack. His phone had an app, and his phone, like the cover of his phone had 2 metal pads at the back of it. So his actual his phone, the doctor's phone,
was like doctor phones, are they?
Was an angiogram, an ECG machine,
Fuck
a heart
off.
machine.
Fuck off.
So he gave me the phone. And I held his phone in my hand, and I put my 2 thumbs on the metal pieces that were on the back of it. And it was just like he bought a phone cover and put his phone into it. It was an iPhone. It wasn't anything special. It was an iPhone, but like the back of it had these 2 metal things that I guess read straight into the phone or some such. And I held my thumbs on the back of his phone, and then he took it out of my hand, and he turned it around to me, and there was a graph on it with like lines, like beep, 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 beep lines. And he goes, there you go, you're not having a heart attack. And I was like, fuck me, you've an app for that? You got an app for that? Look at that. And he showed me like a load of lines, and it looked to me like they were very jaggy. And I goes, they look jaggy, they're bad. And he goes, no, they're grand. You're not having a heart attack. Go fuck off and lose 2 stone. And I left.
That's some queer fucking Tinder, I tell you.
And I left the place, and I never felt like I was having a heart attack again. Look at that.
Magic.
There you go. Funny how that works. Anyway, I was convinced in this other instance that I had bowel cancer, because I had a ball of wind moving through me for fucking nearly a month. And the missus knew there was something up, because I was like, you know, and she goes, what is up? I goes, you know what, I'm not going to lie to you, Pat, like I'm feeling, you know, I've got discomfort in the torso. She goes, you got to go get yourself looked. So I went to the doctor, I said, look, XYZ, and he felt my stomach, and he, you know, moved it around. He goes, look, yeah, you know what, this is digestion problems, and you're probably not eating right. And what you're doing is that, you know, you're feeling discomfort, so you're like, oh, I better not eat anything, and you're not eating anything for a day. And then you're eating down on top of that, and that's just pushing wind around you, and you're just being a dipshit. So, like, fucking sort your life out. You're grand. I goes, okay, well, listen, this is the
There's some straight
McBride
shooting
history.
fucking doctors here, I tell you.
Some straight shooting doctors, but then I turned around and goes, okay, well, here's the history of bowel cancer in the McBride family here, 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 and here. And he goes, okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. I see your point there.
Let's put you up on the ramp.
Let's put you up on the ramp. So, to give you an appointment for a colonoscopy, Tom, I don't know if you ever had a colonoscopy.
Nope.
Colonoscopy's handy as fuck, right? You know,
Hold on.
yeah,
Back up to you can't just start throwing puns out there about fucking handies and fucking colonoscopies.
Honestly, a colonoscopy ain't that bad. A lot of people, like, you know, and be thinking, oh, but it's something stuck up my arse and all this kind of thing. And look, you know, I know if you go to the doctor and you say, well, I'd love a prostate exam, but if it's a finger up the arse, I'm not having it because I would rather die of prostate cancer than have a finger up my arse. Well, look, best luck dying, pal. Get over yourself, right? Colonoscopy, Tom, the tube to put up into you is like about the size of a straw. And I'm not talking about a McDonald's straw. I'm talking about the cheap straws.
Oh, the
that
cheap
you
ones, yeah.
You know the ones you get in the 4 lanterns?
When they bend it gets very spiky on the edges.
You know, the tiny little fucking center of a Bucky's Biro straw.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest little... It's a straw about the size of what goes into a pen. Like what the ink is in the pen, right?
The ones you get in a pub for a bottle of fucking lemonade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
Okay,
those, right? Okay. And I'll be honest with you, Tom, we're not going to get into a whole pile of detail. You don't know what's going up your arse at all.
Really?
No, because they take you in and the like I said in the last episode when I was getting the fucking gunk took out of me eye and all that kind of thing. I get very sleepy in a situation like this. So whether this is like some sort of caveman fight or flight kind of thing kicked in, and it's just like go to sleep, and everything's all warm, and you've been waiting out in a chair for fucking 4 hours, and they bring you in, and you finally get to lie down on something that's comfortable, and you find yourself just kind of just drifting off.
There's so many things I want to say here right now, like just.
All right. And then
you are a dream date. In all fairness, for some people, you're like.
They
just lies down and goes to sleep.
And they feed this tube up your arse, and it's about the size and flexibility of the charger of an iPhone, right?
Right.
And that's it. And the look around your
What if I don't own an iPhone? I fucking Samsung Galaxy. It's completely
about
different.
the same, Tom. Like it's not 6 square twin and air cable going up your hole. Like, don't worry about it, right? It's not cooker cable, Tom.
That's 3-phase, like, no, okay, fair enough.
You're
fair
not,
enough. All
right?
right.
That's not the funny part about it at all. Okay, she went up and she looked around and she says, "No, you're all right. Don't worry about it."
Do you get to watch? Can you watch it on the telly yourself?
There's a telly there, and you can see just this sort of like pink worm kind of job going on. And I paid no remarks to Tom. And she looked around, and then she pulled the cable out of my arse, and this is very good. Go on about the business, you'll have results in a week's time.
I imagine you remember you pull a string on the back of those toy soldiers and they start talking.
Yeah. And yeah, she pulled it out. And I didn't see her do this, but I could imagine that she had like a baby wipe around it and pulled it out, so she cleaned it as
Jesus Christ. I tell you one thing, 600 fucking points to be a doctor, and you're kind of going, why? Why would you do it? And who specializes in that? Because I need to be looking up holes.
So that was that, right? And she told me, like, at the time, she goes, look, you'll get results now in a fully detailed report over the next little while. You can come in and get it. But as far as I'm concerned, I see nothing up there. There's just nothing. There's not even like what they call like the beginnings of bowel cancer, which would be polyps and things like this. And there was other things that I'd Googled, like diverticulitis and all this kind of shit. And there was nothing. You got nothing up your arch. Not even like there's not even the fucking wheel of a Tonka toy that you ate when you were a child. There's nothing up your hole, McBride, right? That's not the funny. I got to take you back 2 days. Okay?
Okay.
Colonoscopy's the easy part. You go in, you lie on your side, the feet are chewed up by your arse. That's it. There's nothing to it. I got to take you back 2 days, Tom.
Oh, I think I've heard stories of this. Go on.
When the preparation starts.
Did they ring you about going and get this fucking TURBO-LAX or whatever they fucking call it? Or
you have to take... They're going to put a camera up your arse to have a look around to see if you've got cancer or not.
See, they don't need a mucky yard.
They don't need a mucky yard.
Yeah.
So they need you to have a completely clean colon going into them. And to do that...
Pure Dynarod.
Pure Dynarod. There's a couple of things you can do for them. There's number one, watch what you eat for like 2-3 days beforehand, okay? And they give you a list of things that you shouldn't eat 2-3 days beforehand, okay? That's just going to help things.
What shouldn't you eat? Just for anybody out there, pizza.
It escapes me right now, but it's mostly like high fat foods and dirty black pints of Guinness and such like. They want you to have high fiber food that just sort of helps everything move out of you. Then 2 days before that, you need to kind of stop doing that and kind of go on a bit of a fast, okay? So you can have certain things, like you can have clear soup and
lovely,
like strained soup and things like this.
Delicious.
And things like this, just sustenance to keep you going, and drink all the fluids you want. Don't drink milk and all this kind of shit. And then on the day beforehand, you are to eat nothing.
Right.
You're to eat nothing. A 24-hour fast the day beforehand, but you are to drink a solution of stuff.
I'm guessing it isn't a fucking solution other than fucking clearing your pipes. That's what solution.
That is exactly what it is. Now, the stuff that there's various names of stuff. Now, you said TURBO-LAX there, Tom.
I remember seeing it one time and reading it going.
TURBO-LAX is an over-the-counter
drain cleaner for your fucking
cleaner for your arse. I can go up to the shop and buy that right now.
Yeah.
If I'm so inclined, I can go do that now.
Right.
No. The stuff that you have to get before a colonoscopy is by prescription only.
Oh, fucking hell. So TURBO-LAX is
child's play.
Child's play, right. I'm with you. Yeah.
Tom, after what I went through, I could take 2 TURBO-LAX and fucking run a marathon.
Go on.
And not pass a single stone. The stuff I got was a stuff called Movie Prep. And there are other ones out there. So
that sounds fucking agricultural to me. No, that does.
So if you haven't had Movie Prep, you'll be like, oh no, you probably had something else. I had Movie Prep, okay? And you're gonna like this, Tom. It's like an epoxy. It comes in 2 sachets.
Stop, and it has to go together.
And it has to go together. So you've got one sachet of it here, and then you've got the other like activator sachet. And you have to.
For anybody wondering in life, if you have to activate 2 yolks together, it means they're so fucking lethal as a combo that they have to be brought in separate packs. So normally if you get a heavy duty epoxy, Hilti makes some of the best ones. Even Royal Plug make a good one.
Yes.
But it's normally for chemical bolting.
Chemical anchor,
steel.
yes. Exactly.
Yeah, steel into fucking concrete. Jesus Christ almighty.
You have to mix the 2 of them into a 2 liter jug, which you may not have about the house, okay? You may not just have a 2 liter jug about the place, because a milk jug is like 1.5 liters. So we got a loan of a jug from I think it was the missus's mum.
What did you tell her it was for? Did you do a bit of bacon?
I said, you don't want to know what this is for.
Okay.
So you mix this up, and it comes to like a cloudy solution, and tastes to my palate somewhat lemony.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now I've read online of people that could not drink this Movie Prep. They was like, I could not drink it. I could not choke it down. It was horrible. I don't know about you, Tom, but I can drink pretty much anything.
Diesel. I'd fucking drink diesel.
I can drink anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I will make, like, you know, broccoli smoothies and things like this, and all the kale and all this, and nothing nice, and it's just pure fucking horrible green sludge.
You blank that shit out like a fucking man. You blank that shit out and you drink
turn it off and you down it.
Yeah.
I'll drink literally anything you give me to drink. I don't care. Because I can look at it and go, that's 2 liters, glug, 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 take a rest, glug, glug, glug. You'll drink it.
Mm.
It's not...
Is it to go into one, like, half hour, like?
You drink it in 2 goes, okay?
Right.
You drink it in 2 goes. So you drink half of it in the morning. 24 hours before your procedure, you drink half of it in the morning, and then the other half later on in the day. And then you're to drink only clear water after that, and they recommend you drink, like, 2 liters of water after that.
Right.
And then 2 liters of water after that. And then they say, keep drinking 2 liters of water. I'm like, I'm going to be pretty full of water. And then in the instructions, it's like, no, you're fucking not.
Basically, what they're saying is, just bring the fucking telly into the toilet. Is that what you're telling me?
You'll be fine. Now, Tom, here's another thing about me, right? And I said this in the last podcast when I was talking about going in for the procedure on my eye. I didn't think that I had to take a day off work for this.
Oh, Lord.
All right. I said, here's what we're going to do, right? I'm going to down the first liter of this solution at 8 o'clock in the morning, leave, get on the 8:15 train, go to work, and then by the time I get to work, which is about 9:30 or 10 o'clock or so, this thing should be starting to work. And then I can kind of to and fro from the toilet there.
Yeah.
And then when I get home later on, I'll get out a wee bit early, and I get home around about 6 o'clock, and I'll drink the other litre, and we'll be right as ninepence, okay?
Lovely.
I know I'm going to be to and fro from the toilet, but what odds? I'm at work. What odds, right?
It's not on my time to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I
drank the first litre at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And then I went to put my shoes on. And in the motion of me bending down to get my shoes and tie them, I realised something was fucking terribly wrong.
There was an evacuation. Red alert.
There and then. It just liquefied you from top to bottom instantly.
There wasn't even a photo finish. Like, it was just...
There was nothing. It
fuck.
was... The taste of it was still in my mouth when it arrived at the other side. And I fucking ran upstairs and I said, and Tom, you've no idea. You've no fucking idea. Like, I got gaunt in the face.
Now, did we soil the pants? Like, did you?
No, we didn't.
You got there. It was a photo finish. Okay,
it
right.
was
Oh
yeah, no, I got that. And like Tom, I'm big enough to say that there have been times in my life, and drink was involved where I've shit my pants.
Yeah. Sharks happen all the time. Like, you know, what I mean?
Like, you know, I'll tell you one thing. Segue again here. A quick story. I wasn't on holiday. I was on honeymoon with the missus. We were driving through America. We drove through America for like 4 weeks, and we stopped off in Atlanta because the Coca-Cola Museum is there, and it's the birthplace of Coca-Cola and all this kind of thing. And at the end of it, there's a little sort of Willy Wonka Coca-Cola Wonderland where you can try samples of Coca-Cola from all across the world. So if you want to know what Fanta tastes like in Japan, here you go. If you want to taste some odd brand Coca-Cola or Sprite that's only available in Italy, here you go. They give you a little cup and you go around and you take little drinks of it throughout the whole thing. And we spent about an hour here testing all these drinks. And by the time I got to the car park, I was like, I have to go find a toilet now. Yeah. I'm about to shit myself in Atlanta.
But that's absolutely...
I could see what brought that on.
Yeah, you weren't going, how did that happen? That's saccharine I just ate. I wonder how that happened. Because
the missus was there to me, like, newlyweds, on honeymoon, she goes to me, come on, we get to the car and we go up the road, because we're going to go somewhere and get to eat. And I was to grab her by the shoulder. I was going, you need to listen to me. I'm going to shit myself right now.
In Coca-Cola's fucking car park.
Yeah, because I tried to say, I was like, up to that, I was like, I think we should go back in now. Oh, no, we'll get the car, we're right here. No, I think we should go back in now. Okay, well, I'm just going to pay the parking, and then I was like, I'm going to fucking go.
Like Melissa McCarthy's character from fucking
That exactly what I was like, this is happening right now. So, cut back to the movie prep, and like, I'm like on the phone to the missus. She's downstairs, like, are you gone yet? I'm like, I'm on the toilet, and I'm not moving from this for today. Tom, clean, fresh air blew through me that day.
Like if I whistled down your throat.
Tom, if I had ran with my mouth open, my arse would have whistled. It wasn't like okay, it's cleaning out your bowels, it's cleaning out like all the fucking swallowed chewing gum that you've swallowed down through the years. Tom, it was drawing moisture out of your body
just to get rid of it,
to purge it down through you. Like, and I tried my fucking level best. I couldn't cry. I was just there, like, crying. I was like...
Every ounce of liquid was gone.
You know, like, I was, like, wincing with it. I was like... And I was like, why are my eyes dry? I'm just here feeling them, and they're as dry as paper. There's, like, everything's gone,
Jerry,
right?
I have to ask the question. Do you think this is a bit of fucking overkill on behalf of the doctor? Like, I mean, come on.
But they need to be sure, Tom.
I suppose they need to be sure, yeah.
They don't need to go in and think that you've got some form of bowel cancer, and it turns out to be like the skin of a tomato that you ate earlier in the day,
or sausage
stuck to the wall of the thing. And I still had another liter of this stuff to go later on.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And when I came to drink the second liter of it, Tom, I've never felt the sensation of it in my life. I could feel it going down, and I could feel it going through every inch of intestine. It was like you could just feel the cold liquid going through you, like it was playing fucking screwball scramble.
Do you remember? You got the passport machines inside the suit, and you'd have to wait for about 5 minutes for it to cook, but you could hear it moving around.
You could hear the picture moving through the passport machine. That's what it was. And I was saying to Sarah, I was like, Watch this, okay? I was laying in the bed. You're supposed to lie down in a comfortable position, near to a toilet. And I was laying in the bed, and I was there. I was like, okay, here we go. I'll tell you now exactly when it's. I'll tell you exactly. Yeah, I can feel it going round. Okay, I'm going. Gone into the jacks.
Oh my fucking God.
Purge. Gone. And then, like, after that, you're to drink as much clear, fresh water as you want. But, like, Tom, it is literally... right? I'm going to put you above the clear, fresh water that I drank after drinking this movie prep solution. Tom, and I say this with no... I'm not trying to gross you out or anything like this. I just needed you to know this. If I had caught it out the other end, you could have drank it again.
That's going to be my question. At what stage had you... were you?
Oh, I hadn't done what you'd class as a poo since 8 o'clock in the morning. That's only like the first 18 inches of it, Tom. The rest of it was just pure, clear, lemony flavored liquid.
I need to. I've never heard anybody talking about this.
It's stunning.
We need stories. This is one where there'll be a lot of stories. I think when we put this podcast
that is my movie prep story. And again, wow. if you've cancer in the family, or if you're of an age where someone says you should probably keep an eye out, and ladies breast cancer, guys prostate cancer, testicular cancer, whatever it is, you don't need a pair of fucking dumbasses on the podcast to tell you look after yourself. But what I will say is this: if you ever have a chance to have the movie prep experience, I highly recommend it.
Hold on, you're looking back on this fucking fondly now.
So fun, like it was, like I was in discomfort for the whole day. Like, Tom, you've never had the shit so bad you couldn't watch television. You know, like you're not.
Yeah, no, I've never had it that bad. No,
I'm just gonna sit here and watch TV, and as and when I need to run to the toilet, I run to the toilet. No, dipshit, you're going to fucking sit on a toilet for 8 hours because you can't put pressure on your feet to stand up. Without wanting to shit again.
By God.
And then you go in for your colonoscopy, you say, what can I eat right now? And they say, well, you should probably eat something light like a salad. And you're like, all right. And on the way home, you get fucking chicken wings out of it.
Of course you do. Absolutely. Because I'm even hungry as you're saying that. That has been fucking fantastic.
And there you go. And that's what ailed me, Tom. And thankfully it didn't ail me as bad as it could. So I'm going to keep going.
I there was a bit of a disclaimer put out there that you may learn absolutely nothing throughout this podcast. But I think we all learned something today, that Jerry McBride can be cleaned like a fucking rifle when it comes to fucking movie prep.
Movie prep. I highly recommend it.
I don't know.
I would just honestly, Tom, I would just, like, fear of cancer or not, I would just, like, fucking get it. Just
for a little you time. Is that what you're saying? A little me time.
I'm telling you, you wanna. I hear these people going on these like cleanses, and I'm on a 3-week cleanse. I'm telling you, I got your fucking 3-week $40,000 cleanse in the Bahamas in an hour and a half with a prescription out of the chemist in Unger.
Just sit in a bath with no trousers on, and have your iPad on to fucking go.
I'm not cutting you, Tom. And again, sorry, I don't want to drive off listeners, but it was coming out of me. I looked like the fucking mushrooms in Mosney, so I did.
Which is they too have taken a different path in later life.
So there you go. That's what I got for you.
That is fantastic. There, those ends the end of episode 4. We are drawn near to a close. Thank you all very, very much, everybody who's listened so far.
Tell them what they can do to help the show, and how they can follow us and all that kind of good stuff.
The usual, Alan, best place to follow us. Look for Jerry McBride or Tom O'Mahony, or look for the Tom and Jerry Show on Twitter. It's the handiest place where we're going to be putting up content from now relating to the shows and all the rest of it, just to get a small bit of chat and interaction, just to find out who's actually listening, because at the moment it's just two grown-ass men talking to each other in darkened rooms over Tinternet. So it would be nice. Also, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Nice little funny review. There will be, of course, a prize given to the best review at the end of it, and give us 5 stars, because fuck all use having anything else. Our egos are not going to be boosted. We're still going to continue to do this regardless. We need 5 stars, because what it does is it makes it more available to other people on Apple Podcasts.
So you're doing us no favors giving us a 4-star review that reads like a 5.
It's of no benefit to us. We will, unless you're an absolute podcast guru who knows everything about it and goes, guys, about a 3.5. No. And even still, we'll still go. So we're not changing. We're just going to keep it the way it is. Or do you know what? If you're not Actually, if you do leave that comment, do please take a screenshot and tweet us. That's the best way to do it. And if you're not listening on Apple Podcast, hey, great, hit subscribe, but tell your friends about it. At least put it up on a social platform and go, you know what, these two fuckos are worth listening to. They'll buy you a time or two, and go back and listen to all the older ones. There's another fucking 20 odd of them back there, lads. As Jerry said, you could have an entire day listening to us in your ear holes if you really wanted to.
And it'll cost you nothing.
Actually, nothing. Cost you nothing.
Not much you can say about the cost you nothing these days, Tom.
No, I mean, you're not going to gain a lot from it.
Yeah, but like me and Tom are fucking down money over here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair exchange on their behalf. Like, they're not spending it, and they're not really getting a lot either, Jerry.
What can I say, Tom? Yes,
4.
This ends episode 4. Yeah, you gave the Twitter. Yeah, I got nothing to add.
Good. Well, thank you all very much for listening. Till the next time, I've been Tom Manny. Good luck.
Good luck.